Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Elite Clockman here. Today I'll be analyzing Season 1 of SKIBIDI Toilet Multiverse, and we'll be going through every secret we can find because the creators of this new fan series is putting a lot of work into putting secrets and Easter eggs into the series. For example, if you didn't know in the last episode, if you pause at a certain second, you would see Elite Cameraman looking at the scene with binoculars, probably referencing the analysis videos. But as you guys know, his simping is getting worse and worse every new episode.
Hey, I heard you, bro. Don't pretend that you are any better than me. I haven't forgotten what you've said about Clockwoman, so don't make me leak the DMs, bruh.
Okay, chill. Clockwoman is a different kind of breed, don't compare her to TV Woman. But still, I ain't no simp, I'm just speaking facts.
Yeah, sure, buddy. Anyways, I gotta go. Enjoy the analysis, people.
Finally, since he is gone, we can actually start the analysis right after you like and subscribe to the channel. It's been just 2 days ever since I opened this channel, and it's already at 50,000 subscribers. And I think we can get to 100,000 subscribers really fast if it goes like this. Also, I don't know if all of you know this fan series, but SKIBIDI Toilet Multiverse is a series which starts after episode 59, and it's in a different timeline. So anything that happens after episode 59 is different, but every event that happened before is still the same. For example, Simp Cameraman trying to hug TV Woman and TV Woman basically ignoring her happened in this SKIBIDI universe as well. But this doesn't mean that everything will stay the same because the events even from the first episode of this new series have shifted a lot with the introduction of Clockmen, and even the new Drillman race that was introduced in the last episode, but we'll get to those later. The creators also have released a leak from episode 9, and it's the sound of Titan Drillman which confirms that he'll be coming into the series in the next episode. Here is the sound. Now let's get to analyzing Season 1. It literally starts with the last scene of episode 59, but instead it continues and we see 3 UFO toilets entering the scene, blasting the Alliance agents on the ground. And as you guys know, there is only one UFO toilet that we know about in the original series, and even just this is a clear distinction between the two series. We don't know what caused the timeline to change, but I think later on in the series we might get some clues as to why, because the main race of the series is Clockmen, and they can literally control time, but we'll get to that in a second. Right after we see Titan Speakerman chasing after the UFO toilets, and you guys need to understand that this is right after episode 57 where he was cured, and this happening at this moment probably got him real mad because he just saved all the Speakerman, and they just came out from their hiding. But the second he flies off, 2 more UFO toilets appear, and they start shooting at Titan Cameraman. Even though it doesn't seem like he is taking damage, because he was distracted, a parasite toilet flies in and actually infects him. This was another clear distinction between the original series because as we know from episode 57 part 2 where a parasite toilet tried to infect Titan Cameraman, his reflexes were fast enough to sense it even before it reached him. But maybe here, even though he felt it, he couldn't do anything because he didn't want to get lasered in the core. With this, he suddenly realizes what happened and looks at the POV cameraman very concerned, and Titan Speakerman comes in to help, but he is stopped by the UFO toilets. And we all know from the original series that it's pretty hard for the Titans to deal with a UFO toilet because of their speed and Titans lacking speed. Suddenly, Titan Cameraman flies away with the UFO toilets, and Titan Speakerman decides to chase him, leaving us alone. And we can clearly see that there are a lot of toilets around the area. We get attacked by a toilet, which looks like the toilet we have seen in episode 49, which TV Woman actually saved us from. But this time something else happens. A large Clockman enters the scene, smashing this toilet with his huge hammer, and a gentleman comes from behind him. He salutes us with his hat, and I can definitely say that bro is majestic. But still, no one is as majestic as me. After his salute, he offers us a black watch, which looks like the scene from episode 40, where TV Man gave us a protective camera lens. We grab the watch and look to our right, seeing a bunch of toilets coming towards us. And with that, we see Clockman coming towards, including another large Clockman. But you might have noticed something about them which is different than other races. Each entity of this race has a different style. But as we know from the original series, unless it's a unique character, every entity is almost the same in the Alliance, like all the regular cameramen are the same other than a few unique ones like Plunger Cameraman. But I think this also does mean that Clockmen are very few in numbers, or maybe we haven't seen a regular Clockman yet and all these are unique characters. And suddenly the camera frame changes and starts seeing from an outside perspective for this special scene, because we get a close-up on the large Clockman, and the second clock hits 12. It starts spinning randomly, and a huge pulse explosion happens, literally stopping time. This is an incredible ability, and probably the most overpowered ability we've ever seen in any SKIBIDI toilet universe. You can literally do anything while time is stopped. Also, if you look carefully, only agents who are wearing the black watch can move when time is stopped. And with this, Clockmen start planting some bombs next to toilets, and once their time runs out, everything suddenly explodes, and we go back to the cameraman POV, and he gives a thumbs up. With this, the second episode starts, and we can see that they are in a different place now. But it's clear that they are still in London. We see the Clockmen and the Alliance agents being cornered from all sides, and suddenly the large Clockman stops time to save everyone. But he points out that they only have about 10 seconds, so the other large Clockman with jetpacks puts the rocket launcher toilet somewhere else to save the day. And we see a clock helicopter coming for their escape, but suddenly another batch of toilets explodes some houses on the other side. This time, though, we can see that the large Clockman can't stop time, and I'm not sure, but I think we get the Ben 10 watch sound. And his abilities might need to be recharged for a while, just like Ben 10's watch. You probably know what I'm talking about if you've seen the series before. But we don't really know what happens here because it looks like they are going towards the helicopter, but the camera suddenly fades away and the helicopter is moving. I'm guessing that the POV cameraman got inside, but it still seems like the POV cameraman was left behind because of how the scene looks, but I have no idea. After this, we get the most random scene where we see Clockman watching a Speakerman Fortnite dance, and after observing, Clockman Fortnite dances as well. A very goofy, moment indeed. I'm assuming that this scene was inside the helicopter because the episode doesn't end here, and right after we get to see the helicopter arriving at some type of fortress or a castle. We can see that there is a moon-shaped building on the left with a clock hanging from it, and this is because it's the base of the Clockman race. After this, we see the squad entering the base, and one of the Clockmen uses his powers to give life to a dead rose, but it's actually not giving life because he's reversing its own lifetime, and this reveals another power these Clockmen possesses, which is time reversal for any object or alive entity. After this, the camera pans to the right, and we see some Morse code on the computer screen which actually says "Need Titan," and on the bottom left of the monitor, you can see the sticker which say "Future," referencing the fact that the Titan Clockman will come. With this, one of the Clockmen start ringing, alerting everyone about something going on outside, and everyone decides to go outside. And we see a huge army of toilets. We can also see many familiar toilets, such as the Skull toilet from episode 55, or the Buzzsaw toilet on the right bottom that almost killed the scientist cameraman. And as the camera pans to the left, we see another Buzzsaw toilet, which shows that there are so many clones of the same unique toilets in this SKIBIDI universe. And episode 2 ends with us getting a close-up on the cameraman's camera, seeing a reflection of a Titan which will be revealed in the next episode. The next episode starts with a mutant toilet coming towards us menacingly, but right before that, if you freeze the frame while the POV cameraman is looking down at the street, you can actually see a different version of TV Woman with a pink scythe. But don't tell Elite Cameraman about this scene because...
Did someone say TV Woman? Where is she?
You probably got some issues with your ears, dude. No one said anything like that. Anyways, let's continue. Seconds later, the mutant toilet hears a bang and he gets shocked when he looks to his left, but time suddenly slows down and we see a clock shuriken coming to kill the mutant toilet, and right after we get a look at the Titan Clockman, and I can certainly say that he has been bulking and he looks buff. Bro is on his way to become a Giga Chad. If we stop the frame here, we can see that he has a very unique clock design which is actually swirling inside, which kind of gives time travel vibes, and maybe that's one of his abilities, and we don't know yet. We can also see that instead of a core, he has a clock and 3 more clock shurikens. Few seconds later, we also see that he has a hand cannon just like the other Titans, and he uses it to attack the toilets, and the hand cannon's powers are crazy because it literally stops time for the entity that was shot. But after we see him charging this weapon and shooting the giant dual buzzsaw toilet after, he might have charged it because it was a giant toilet instead of a normal one. And after the toilet freezes in time, the Titan Clockman uses some of his powers to actually do something close to mind-washing, and with his powers he turns the toilet into an ally, and the toilet starts attacking other toilets. With that going on the back, a new crazy version of the scientist toilet enters the scene, and we can see that he has been upgraded pretty heavily, and it's quite different compared to the original series. Also, I cannot go without mentioning, he has a ding-dong. Ding-dongs really have been conquering every Skibidi universe. Before we can get to see the fight, the episode ends. The next episode, something weird happens, but I'll get to in a second. Episode 4 starts with us playing chess with a TV man. But suddenly an explosion happens, and we see the scientist toilet, but he is quite different compared to episode 3. With this, we can safely assume that the look of the upgraded scientist toilet in episode 3 was retconned, and his ding-dong is now gone. Right when the Titan Clockman is about to attack the scientist toilet, G-Man Toilet appears out of nowhere, shooting his lasers at Titan Clockman, but Titan Clockman uses his time powers to stop his jetpacks from working, and he actually tries to use his mind control powers, but G-Man Toilet resists enough before Scientist Toilet starts attacking the Titan Clockman. And while the fight is going on, we see the infected Titan cameraman that's on his way, and Titan Clockman wants to actually fight. But the Clockman tells him to stop, so Titan Clockman just shoots everyone he can and uses his time-stopping powers, and everyone suddenly disappears, literally leaving the POV cameraman because he wasn't wearing a watch at the time, and a red magnet toilet comes in front of us right before Scientist Toilet notices us. Ending the first season of SKIBIDI Multiverse. This series does get a lot better in the next episodes, and secrets are being added all the time. So if you do enjoy SKIBIDI Multiverse analysis videos, make sure to subscribe and like the video. Elite Clockmen out.